Good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. This is a look at Coleman 4M that I picked up used, obviously, and I paid $25 Canadian for it. This is a 1950 to 1960 Coleman stove made in Canada. It's a vintage, it's a classic, and it's worthy of restoration. And I did just that, and I just want to show you what I did to this particular one. So the first thing I did was, of course, make sure that there was some pressure held in the pressure tank to make sure it was going to work. And I did light this up, and indeed it did work. I then replaced the end cap seal and also re-oiled the leather pump seal, and they both worked. The valve is leaking a tiny bit, and I'm going to need to deal with that at some point. But for now, it works very well. The next thing I did was start disassembling it. Now, this has one with legs on it, but I took the top off it, the wind deflectors, and of course the burners. And for the colors for the paints, I selected two different ones: a green and the Rust-Oleum silver. The high heat, specifically silver, for the burners. So the green is not a high heat paint, it's just a standard rust paint, and then the high heat for the burners themselves. Now, before I did this, of course, I went ahead and cleaned off all the grunge. I put it in soapy water, cleaned it well. I used a wire brush to get to knock off as much rust as I could, and then started painting it. And I put on a few layers of paint. Here is an image of the burners, for example. Of course, you don't the little the filaments or little circles above the burner plates there. Of course, I just wire brush those. You don't want to paint those where the gas comes through. But the cap and the burner plate, you can take those off and paint them with the high heat paint. And so I did that and let them cure for about 24 hours. And this is the top of the case. Again, same thing outside. I went and put, I think about 3 layers, 3 coats overall of the rust paint, and it looks 100% better than it did before. It's not perfect. You can still see the imperfections, maybe some of the stuff I didn't clean off very well. But from a distance, it looked very good. Here's a look at the case where I scrubbed the case down, wire brushed it, and took all the bolts off, and then just painted over everything. Even as far as the handle, the Coleman name on the front of it, and the little wing holders that bend out. I painted those as well, and it all turned out incredibly well. Again, it doesn't have to stand up to heat. And it gives this unit a new life. It's going to be ready for another 50 years. Here's the burner portion. The 4M happens to have a cast iron burner on it, and it again 3 or 4 coats on this. And the one thing I will note and say and suggest that you have to do. This is a picture of it again before I started working on it, taking it apart. One thing you do have to do is you have to burn in or seal the paint, and you can do that by putting it in an oven so that it kind of bakes on that paint and hardens it properly. Or you can just run the burner on low. So start up the stove, put it on very, very low, both burners, and just leave it running for like an hour. And then after that, turn it up a bit hotter and run it. If you run it hot immediately, that paint's going to be bubbling even after 48 hours worth of drying. So what do you end up with after all that? Well, you end up with the stove that looks like this. Now, I didn't complete the pressure tank. That's for another day. But I think you'll agree that looks pretty good after knocking some rust off and using some shake cans of paint to cover up the blemishes and the paint splatter from the prior owner of this particular stove. I didn't record a video of firing up, but rest assured it does fire up excellently, works perfectly after replacing the seals in the pressure tank. And again, it looks like $1,000,000, and it's going to last another 50 years probably. So I may in the future put a video of a fire up and maybe a boiling of putting on some coffee or something like that. But for now, I want to let you know. In terms of the curing of the paint, that's one thing I haven't seen in the other videos. Like I said, you do need to run the burners or put the pieces that you've painted in an oven. Although there's a lot of off gassing for this, so you don't want to do it inside. But to cure that paint properly so that the flame doesn't just bubble it and burn it off, you definitely need to do that. So a low heat, I found, seemed to work enough without causing it to bubble up, and enough to harden it up. So and of course to burn off the fumes before you actually start cooking on it. So that's something to be aware of with the high heat paint. So thanks for watching.